Hello, good evening, and welcome to Joy News Prime, live from our studio here at Kokomlemle in Accra. We are live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144, live around the world on myjoyonline.com. Coming up tonight, President Akufo-Addo appoint Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta as caretaker minister for the Trade and Industry Ministry, following the resignation of Alban Kingsford. We have details of the statement, and we'll also be speaking with a member of the Council of Elders of the NPP, Hakman Osu Ajiman.
Ideally, if you can get the Vice President and my own brother Shematin, my own brother Shematin together, it would be fantastic.
Also in this bulletin, Clocksack forced to call off its national elections following an interlocutory injunction to restrain the conduct of the proposed election of the National Executive Committee as part of the annual National Congress.
We know that we came here as a result of what? The invite of the Executive Secretary. And so if even there is an issue that needs to be communicated, it shouldn't be via WhatsApp message because we were at breakfast.
Details of these stories and more, plus editorial, business and sports making up this bulletin. Remember, we are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. My name is Samuel Kojo. Stay with us for details. President Akufo-Addo has appointed embattled Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to act as caretaker minister of Trade and Industry Ministry after Alban Kingsford tendered in his resignation. Mr. Kingsford formally informed the president on Thursday and on Friday that resignation has been accepted. Those are details in a statement released by the presidency a while ago. Now, the statement says the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on Friday, 6th January 2023, accepted the resignation from office of Mr. Alban Kingsford as Minister for Trade and Industry. This was after Mr. Kingsford on Thursday, 5th January, informed the President of personally of his decision to resign and subsequently submitted his letter of resignation to the President. Now, President Akufo-Addo thanked Mr. Kingsford for his services to his government and to the country and wished him well in his future endeavor. The President has asked the Minister for Finance, Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, to act as caretaker minister at the Ministry of Trade and Industry until a substantive appointment is made. And this statement is signed by Eugene Ahin, Director of Communications at the Office of the President. Well, Alban Kingsford's resignation has sparked calls for other presidential aspirants to follow suit. My colleague and presidential affairs correspondent Elton Brobe chronicles the political life of the man popularly known as Alan Cash.
The 67-year-old Alban Kingsford made an attempt at the leadership of the MPP in 2007, captured 32.3% of the votes. He was first runner-up to Nana Akufo-Addo, who gained 47.9% of votes cast. Mr. Kingsford made other attempts at the party's leadership in 2010 and 2014, but placed second to Nana Akufo-Addo, who won the primaries. He will concede to President Akufo-Addo at the forecourt of the Great Hall of the University of Ghana.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, my distinguished colleagues who have contested for the flag bearership of our party, our beloved delegates, I wish to use this opportunity and this platform to congratulate my good friend and senior brother, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for a hard-won and well-deserved victory in the first round of the elections this morning. As you've already been told, according to the rules of procedure under the constitution of our party, we are supposed to go into a second-round contest. However, I wish to use this opportunity to concede victory to my brother. As I said earlier on, I wish to concede victory to my senior brother, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in order for us to preserve the unity of our great party. Secondly,
an elated President Akufo-Addo responded in equal measure.
Young man who gave me such a big run for my money, and who has shown in this his first intervention in our national politics, that the talent, the drive, the energy are all there. All I can say to him is what my predecessor, flag bearer, said to me many years ago, and I've never forgotten it. After our contest in 1998, came to my house to tell me that he has to be president first before I become president. Alan, you follow me.
Fast forward to 2016, and President Akufo-Addo will name him as Trade and Industry Minister even before his swearing in as president after winning the 2016 elections.
I came here with Alan Kyerematen because he's the man who is going to be the Minister for Industry and Trade. In the Akufo-Addo government.
Alan has been championing the government One District, One Factory initiative since 2018, birthing 170 factories across the country. Under Mr. Kyerematen's leadership, the country has witnessed the production of local vehicles by auto giants such as Suzuki, VW, Nissan, Sino-Trucks, among others, under the Automotive Development Policy.
But the interesting thing is that we don't want to leave the youth of this country out of this 1D, 1F program. So under this particular component, what we've said is that we want the youth not only to be working for business promoters as employees, we want them also to become owners of these 1D, 1F enterprises. And to start them off, each of these 56 districts, we are going to put together groups of tertiary graduates, maybe 50 of them in a particular group, and we are going to corporatize them. We create a company for them, and then they will have a grant to buy the processing equipment which they will use in processing for the particular. So already it means that in each of these groups you have groups of youth who are roaming about, nothing doing, who will now own their own factory.
Alan has had an extensive and distinguished record in international trade and public policy, enterprise development, politics, and diplomacy. He is a former ambassador to the United States of America, UN policy advisor, a lawyer, and a senior corporate executive. As Ghana's Minister of Trade and Industry and Presidential Special Initiative from 2003 to 2007, he led the design, development, implementation of innovative programs and special interventions which have become new strategic pillars of growth for the Ghanaian economy. He also played a key role in shaping Africa's trade policy agenda in the World Trade Organization and EU-ACP economic partnership negotiations, AGOA and UNCTAD. Elton Brobe for joining.
Well, so his resignation has sparked calls by political scientists and party activists for other presidential aspirants to follow suit. First is political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Asante, who is urging persons who currently occupy ministerial and governmental positions but have intentions of contesting for various positions in their party to step aside.
First of all, we have said time and again, even though I acknowledge that there's a political conversation about political debate as to whether competence and loyalty is the key. But I still stand firm to my position that it is competence, because you can have somebody who is 100% loyal to you, but he can be the best incompetent person you can think of. And is that the person that you want? Because every government wants results. So whoever you put into your team as a part of the body of ministers, you want that person to come and perform. So the president will want to consider competence, followed by the person must be a team player. Somebody is competent, but if he's not a team player, because remember that part of the provision of the Constitution, I don't have it on top of my head, says that you are going to what, team up with your sector minister, but this one is the minister himself. So you need competence. You need also a team player, that he must also be prepared to work with the team that he has in the ministry, the chief director and everybody and other, so that you don't superimpose your will on them. It is true that as a minister, you owe it a duty to yourself and your government that you champion the agenda of government, but you need to also consult and confer with your team players. 3, you need also loyalty. Yes, somebody who is loyal to the president, so that the president can trust and confide a lot of things in, so that you and the president will share, you share in the vision of the president. Apart from that, you should also be somebody who has your own vision and that you want it to be brought to bear on what you are doing to further the agenda of government. And then you must also rise above reproach, somebody who has a very clean record and all that, and you want to maintain same at all times so that you don't bring the government office into disrepute. That kind of thing. These are some of the ingredients you need. But I believe that once the seat becomes vacant, the president will work the mathematics and come out with somebody who is worth the salt to be able to step into Mr. Alan Chamatin's shoes and deliver what is expected of government.
Well, a member of the MPP's Council of Elders, Hackman Osuajiman, believes it will be in the party's interest and advantage if the two most popular aspirants join forces. He spoke on the Pulse with my colleague Blessed Soga earlier.
We are a political party. Issues are decided collectively, and issues must be in the interest, when we are at the party level, at the interest of the party. So therefore, if it becomes necessary that there must be some kind of putting things together that will ensure our success at the next elections, then I don't think that you immediately write that one off at all. People will start, people will come in, people will go, but what we do is that eventually the National Executive, the National Council, will make decisions as to who our candidate is through the various modules that we have put in place and that we would follow. And I believe that a political party which is people of the same disposition and people who think alike and want to do things the same way should always put their mind together, their heads together, and then find out a way of doing it. And so it is, I want to disagree very sincerely with the former chief of staff that this cannot be done. No, it can be done if it is the way to ensure our victory. And the party first, when we talk at the party level, of course the nation is number one, but when we come to the level of the party, our party first. And so anything that will help us to move forward, we move forward.
But I guess what you're doing now is to try and ensure that there is a party unity, but many would say that it's about democracy. Democracy allows that everyone can contest. And we do know that, and just as you're pointing to, looking at the history, this is one man who has been the forerunner, who has been in the race, who has attempted to run before, even against the incumbent president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself, who one time ran against Alan Kojo Chamatin, asking him to move along with the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will be suicidal for the party, don't you think so? Because there are many supporters out there who have that opinion, that feeling that this is his time. He needs to share that with no man. He needs to be a man of his own and control or choose whoever it is that has to be the vice presidential candidate. What's your take on the fact that this is one man who has long since, held that ambition to become president?
Your technology has taken us by surprise. We don't seem to be getting the words through properly, so I am not with you on what your question.
I'm just asking if you feel that will be good for party unity, if indeed we allow Alan to run alongside the vice president.
Well, if I have understood you properly, or if I got it well, because as I said, there's some difficulty in the communication. But if you are asking whether it will be in our interest to have Chiramatin and the vice president, or to pair themselves together, or vice versa, whatever it is, I think that will be the way to go. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to fall over ourselves in selecting who becomes the primus, if you like, inter pares in the party, because the national chairman, obviously, is the head of the party. But we don't lose that. So it is very important that we get the two most popular people within the party, or even three, and then let's see how we work it out.
Well, one of those endorsing calls for the MPP to consider allowing the Vice President and Mr. Alan Kojo Chiramatin to run together to preserve party unity is Managing Director of the State Transport Company, STC, Nana Akomea, who is also a former NPP Director of Communications. He's been speaking on Joy 99.7 FM.
What are you saying that it will be easy? But at least we would agree that if you have a ticket that includes the two main protagonists, there's a lot more advantages. Look, you know how these primaries are. It's going to be a lot of turmoil. It's going to be a lot of acrimony. Going to be accusations, counter-accusations. It's going to be damn expensive. Look at our opponents. They are going to have a relatively smooth ride. I mean, everybody agrees that one candidate is way ahead of everybody else, President John Mahama. They are not going to have this turmoil and accusations and expense. And so it can save ourselves that situation where we are going to divide ourselves. All the better for my party. You have this 8-year cycle, and we say we are going to try to break the 8. We know that today the ratings of government are not good.
So that's Nana Akomea, who's a former Director of Communications of the NPP. You're also watching Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We will be back with more stories. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. Now, the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana at the Clocksac's national election, slated for Friday, has been suspended indefinitely due to a court injunction. The injunction came after a pending suit against Clocksac by Abraham A. Alote and 6 others who are members of the association was moved against it. The purpose of the interlocutory injunction is to restrain the conduct of the proposed election of the National Executive Committee of Clocksac from holding the annual National Congress. Naba Noryene Alhaji Apam, the Central Regional Secretary of Clocksac, briefing the media, said the committee is law-abiding, hence the need to call off the 14th Quadrennial Congress, which opened at the University of Cape Coast, to avoid chaos and misunderstandings. He said the legal team is working assiduously to ensure the issue is resolved for peace to prevail. Naba Apam Nuhu has been briefing the press there. But let's listen to some of the delegates who have been at this particular Congress.
So we were getting ready to move to the hall so that they could have the opportunity to have that communication with us.
Have you been able to speak to your leadership?
We've not been able to speak to them. I've tried to call the PRO after he dropped that information on the WhatsApp page, but then the phone is switched off. And as it now, we don't know where they are. Now, information reaching me is that they were aware that there's an injunction and they kept it secret. And yesterday, we had a dinner. At the time that we were enjoying ourselves, dancing and making merry, they were having a crunch meeting. And in the crunch meeting, they appointed the executive secretary in conjunction with what? NEC, appointed people to fill in the gap for those executives whose tenure of office have come to an end. Now, it is not wrong constitutionally. However, the Constitution also indicates that after they have done that, the Congress also has, which is the high decision-making body of CLOCSAP, have the right to approve. It is their responsibility to approve the appointment of the executive secretary and NEC together. Yeah.
Now to other stories, and the Ghana Education Service has welcomed the confirmation of Dr. Eric Nkansa as substantive director of the Ghana Education Service, describing him as the best candidate for the job. The initial appointment of Dr. Nkansa was met with stiff resistance from the various teacher unions, resulting in a nationwide strike to protest his eligibility to lead the education service. But speaking on the Pulse on the Joy News channel on the confirmation of Dr. Nkansa, the GES said he is the man for the job. Yao Poku Mensah, a spokesperson for the GES. We'll bring you that particular interaction later on. Meanwhile, the executive director of the Institute for Education Studies, Dr. Peter Anti-Party, has advised the new director general to reach out to all parties to foster a new relationship that will improve the education sector. Now, Dr. Nkansa's appointment was kicked against by the teacher unions, who argued that he was not one of them. But now that he has been confirmed, what are the teacher unions saying? President of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, Isaac also joins us via Zoom with some reactions. So I'm grateful that you could join us. What do you say to the confirmation of the man you said was not qualified to be appointed as the Director General of the Ghana Education Service?
Well, my brother, thank you for having me. And let me say a very good evening to your cherished viewers, and also Happy New Year to all teachers in the country. In fact, what has happened is a big surprise to the union leaders. Why am I saying so? You know, this particular matter is before the National Labour Commission. The parties are waiting for the outcome from the Labour Commission. And we see a confirmation letter on social media. When it happened like that, what we are asking ourselves is that who briefed the President of the Republic? Is the President not aware that this matter is before the National Labour Commission? The GES Council, are they not aware that this matter is before the National Labour Commission? Are we saying that we are no longer practicing the rule of law in the country? You see, what is happening? It is my prayer that you will get Honorable Ofusua Samoa, the CEO for the Labour Commission, to find out, now that the Director General has been confirmed, what becomes of the ruling of the Labour Commission. We are supposed to trust state institutions. When workers or individuals are not happy, the democracy we are practicing in the country, workers are supposed to run to the Labour Commission. And we are expecting the Labour Commission to be fair. All of us are waiting, patiently waiting for the verdict from the Labour Commission. And we sleep and wake up to see that the issue that is pending, the President, and for that matter, the government, has already confirmed our brother, Dr. Eric Nkansa. I don't think it is a good thing. We have said it on timeless occasion that we do not have anything against Dr. Eric Nkansa. But once the Labour Commission, the matter is before the Labour Commission, we were expecting the ruling.
Okay.
If it goes against the unions, then the whole world will know that at least the ruling has come.
Okay.
But the ruling is yet to come, and then the confirmation has come. So what do you want us to do now?
I'm grateful, Reverend Osu, for joining us. He is president of the Ghana National Association of Teachers. We'll take a quick break. We will return with business. Stay with us here. Welcome back from the break. Time for us to bring you business now. Some local business chief executive officers are bewailing the inconsistencies in decisions surrounding government's debt exchange program for an IMF deal. According to them, government should broadly consult the business and labor community for a firm stance necessary to largely support the Ghanaian economy. They spoke to Joy Business at the maiden edition of the Magdan Business Forum.
In accordance with the debt exchange program, the CEOs at the forum urged the government to be proactive in its engagement with diverse stakeholders. Former boss of defunct UT Bank, Prince Kofi Amoabin, stated that a concerted effort is crucial for economic recovery.
The problem I have with all these is that the government should come out one time after he's done his research with committees and everything and say, this is the way we're going, not change your position from one day to the other. Because pensioners complain, okay, this one is not part of it. Because this one, we are looking at it and so why? Get grace with the full facts and come out and then explain to the people one time, this is why we're doing it. And if you have to even withdraw, come back and say that we had to change because we've realized that so and so, and apologize for it. Because you can't just throw any information to the people. It has to be on sound basis. And you, of course, you can make mistakes, but at least come out openly and apologize for it because this is not what I said. Because certain things, we won't go to IMF, then we'll go to IMF. We won't do haircut, then we'll do haircut. Really, that's not the way to respect Ghanaians.
On his part, Managing Director for FBN Bank Ghana, Victor Asante, explained that the program has affected the operations of the bank.
We all know what happened at the beginning of the year. Our debts went up. Revenue didn't come as much as they thought. New taxes that they thought they could roll out didn't happen, and then we were kicked out of the international market. It became a self-fulfilling prophecy where one thing led to the other, one thing led to the other, and we got to a position we knew at this point we cannot pay. It's going to affect everybody, the country, private sector, public sector, everybody's in it. It has many implications. There's liquidity problems. Banks are worried that we may not have liquidity because most banks, if we really implement it the way they've said, we won't have liquidity. So those are part of the engagements we'll be having with the regulator and central bank about how we manage the liquidity. Because if we don't have liquidity, we can't support the private sector.
Former president for the Association of Ghana Industries, James Ejay, entreated the government to strengthen its industrialization program in order to boost the economy.
And we think that what we're looking for or what we need as a country is boosting local production, supporting indigenous Ghanaian businesses, particularly in manufacturing. Government must come out boldly, support commercial agriculture, support industrialists who want to go into agriculture. What we've seen again in the past few months had been business owners who have decided to go into agriculture and then produce their raw materials so that they will reduce the reliance on raw material importation. Unfortunately, local businesses, especially in the productive sector, manufacturing, depend so much on imports, and over, 90% probably of manufacturing businesses in the country import raw materials. And these are some of the challenges affecting our currency, the stability of our currency.
The goal of the maiden Magdan Business Forum was to bring together the business community to discuss important issues affecting the economy. For Joy Business, James Ishen.
And that's our business for you tonight. Up next is Showbiz. All right, so time for us to bring you Showbiz, and Becky Bex is here with a load. Hi, Becky, how are you?
Hello to you, Brace. I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm well,
Well, this evening, I'm telling you all about what to expect this weekend, starting from the Black Star Lion Festival, which is happening this evening at the Black Star Square. Chance the Rapper will be performing, Vic Mensa will be performing, Erika Badu will be performing. T-Pain is in Ghana, everybody.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So for those of you who aren't sure that this is happening, here's a message from T-Pain himself. Sarkodie is in there telling you, Erika Badu also telling you that it's happening. Of course, we cannot wait to see everybody else. Because of the Black Star Lion Festival, we've seen a number of the diasporans come into the country. Dave Chappelle is actually in the country, held a short talk yesterday at the University of Ghana. Also, people are speculating that Kanye West is in Ghana. We're not too sure. We cannot confirm that he's in Ghana, but obviously when we go this evening, we'll cover it there. So when we go this evening, we'll find out whether Kanye is in town. And on this diaspora note, we have, you know, all these people coming to town and pushing Ghana to the rest of the world. And one of the people who have done that is Michael Blankson. And we haven't, you know, given him credit enough. So we're giving him credit. He actually commissioned a school, which he says that is free for everybody who, you know, goes to the school. And I mean, this is a laudable idea, Brace. And, everybody
and he didn't build this beautiful infrastructure in any city. He built it in his hometown, Agona and Saba. And those of you who know Agona and Saba is not that, you know. So he's done so well.
He's done so well. So congratulations to all. And we're urging everybody else who is still out there and contemplating on where to come in Africa. The gateway is Ghana. And we're expecting you all. But another thing that you should be expecting this weekend is Wendy Shea concert. It's happening at the West Hills Mall. She's starting with a free screening for everybody. So for those of you who wouldn't have the opportunity to attend the concert this evening, well, you can catch Wendy Shea and, well, I mean, there are a lot of people also performing Shea on You, Shea concerts, But also for the Amachidede lovers, you also have the opportunity to meet him live in concert. Kofi Kinata will be performing as well on the same day. Amachidede says that this will be his birthday present to fans. So essentially, we are inviting you all to visit and join Amachidede as he gives you a mape soko ne mape But before I go, Brace, let's talk about D Black. So I caught up with him last year, not too long ago. And, you know, for somebody who has done a lot in the industry, I asked him, D Black, I mean, do you feel celebrated enough? And here is D Black.
For a very long time, 10 years, 12 years and counting, we've had, you know, other musicians come out from your camp. Sefa is a beautiful example. Do you think that what you've done for the industry and what you're continuing to do you think that you've been celebrated enough for all the things that D Black has contributed to the entertainment industry?
Yes. So long as I can put food on the table with my family, put out hit songs, still have a beautiful career, I'm happy God has blessed me, and I'm very grateful to the fans and to the people of Ghana.
And we are also grateful for your time here this evening. We'll be back next week. It's next week.
All right, so that does it for Showbiz. Up next is Joy News editorial with Araba Kumsin.
It's a new year. We're all happy, basking in the excitement and joy that comes with the festive season. Enjoy it whilst you can, because very soon your happiness will be cut short. Why, you ask? Well, this is the year that you will experience the highs and lows of the economy. Prepare for a period of pain, as predicted by former President John Mahama. So a period of austerity and prudence, and a period of plenty, and a time to heave a sigh of relief. Across Ghana, investments are struggling for the first time in many years. Interest payments on some government investments, once considered the safest, are being postponed. But on December 5th, 2022, the government of Ghana launched the domestic debt exchange program to restructure the country's domestic debt to ensure sustainability. A critical measure because government is seeking a $3 billion support from the International Monetary Fund. We all know that. Overall, there appears to be an attempt to patch the cracks, but the numbers show that 2023 will be a year of great austerity, a period of pain, as alluded to by a senior member of this government, Gabi Otredako. And as you can see there, he says 2023 is the year of austerity, but it should also be the year of macro stability and predictability for the Ghanaian economy. It will not be easy, but businesses thrive on stability, and with that, I can see a slow but gradual recovery for the economy from April. So, it will be a year when redeeming some of your investments will be an uphill task. The debt restructuring may result in job losses. Banks may not be able to loan money to people because they've run out of money, and businesses would have to downsize. The economy won't expand as fast. I mean, the questions have moved from how did we get here to what should we all do? Where do we turn? And how soon will all these be over? Yes, it's natural to ask questions and have concerns about what the future holds. At the national level, the hope on the horizon is that the IMF will provide a semblance of salvation. Take Zambia, for example. Zambia won International Monetary Fund Board approval for a $1.3 billion dollar support package, an important step towards the nation restructuring its debt. Well, following that, the Zambian kwacha was the best performing currency in the world against the US dollar, rallying over 18.5% from January 22 to September 1. Now, these are the positive statistics Ghana is looking at replicating after heading to the IMF. The hope is that the city will begin to recover even better from the battery it received from the dollar. Also, with the government's gold for oil program, we expect prices to go down at the pumps while inflation begins to subside. So prepare for the worst and expect the best. Happy New Year, folks.
Well, the president is set to address the nation at 8 p.m. on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the Fourth Republic. It will be aired live here on the Joy News channel, so don't go away. Stay with us just as we wrap up the bulletin. But there's more news on myjoyonline.com. Go there for all the latest news and information you need. But like I said, the president will be addressing the nation at 8 p.m. Very shortly, he will be addressing us on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the Fourth Republic, and it will be aired live here on Joy News channel. So stay with us as we listen to the president to understand what he'll be telling us, especially now that one of his ministers, the trade minister, Alan Kojo, has resigned. What will he be saying on that? Will we hear something in that regard? Stay with us here on the channel.